So we've just hit the 1,000-mile mark on the new Mitas E07 Plus tyres. So we've just hit the 1,000-mile mark on the new Mitas E07 Plus tyres fitted to the Honda CB500X. I've done that 1,000 miles in about 6 weeks, and my first impressions of the tyres when I got them was very good. And now with the 1,000 miles, I'll give a little bit of an update on that, because I've managed to do quite a bit of riding on various roads, including trails, and also loaded up with camping gear, as you can see on the bike at the moment. So let's get into it, have a look at the tyres. I'm going to do an update every 1,000 miles, but very brief. This will be the longest one. I'll do an update, very brief, every 1,000 miles, just so that we can see how they wear over the lifetime of the tyres. So let's get a look now. Okay, so here we have the Mitas E07 Pluses. It's a Czech tyre, or a Czech-owned tyre, and the size of the front is 110/80/19, which is standard for the Honda CB500X. Now the tyre depths, when the tyre was brand new, on the front was 8mm in the middle and 9mm on the outer edges. So 8 and 9mm on that front. Just looking at the tyres now, you can see they've still got a nice square profile, which is probably what you'd expect at 1,000 miles. There, you can see, I can see some wear on them from brand new, but it's not significant. So the pattern is still quite blocky. The edges here, the is it called chicken strips? I haven't quite got to them yet, but I've got the whole centre band getting worn in. So it looks pretty good. As I say, they've not worn, because with these blocky tyres, especially taking them off road, they'll start to wear a little bit on the leading edge, and that's just natural for these tyres. I've had off-road tyres on bigger bikes previously, and I've run them, I've run them down quite low, principally road use, and they've been fine. So that's your front tyre, and we'll just have a little look at the back tyre in a moment. But I just thought every 1,000 mile I'm just going to check them, quick look at them, and do a test of the depth. I don't expect there to be much difference here, if any difference. And that centre, let's do it there, that centre sitting at the 8mm. So 1,000 miles, no real change. And on the outer edges, that's sitting at 9mm. So there you have it, 1,000 miles, no real change in depth, probably to be expected, and no real major wear on the blocks. So we'll have a look at the back. I expect the same out the back, but I'll do all this over the lifetime of the tyre, and then we'll just see putting that together at the end to show the wear of it. So the rear tyre is a non-standard to the original Honda tyre. Oh, well, not Honda, the Dunlop fitted. This tyre is a 150 70/17, so it's slightly narrower, slightly taller, and you can see similar sort of wear pattern. The centre band of the tyre obviously is where I'm getting to wear it, and the very outer edges are not yet worn, maybe never get worn. So looking at the tyre, I mean, you can see they're starting to, to wear in and scuff a little bit, but the blocks are still pretty intact, as to be expected really at 1,000 miles. So yeah, no problems with them, looking pretty good. On the rear we had a 10mm in the middle and a 11mm on the outside. So if we do the middle, just double check that. So there is a little bit of wear on the rear. I want to just double check that too. Yeah, so the centre is 9mm, so 1mm of wear, and there's no wear on the outer edge there, and that sits at 11mm. So obviously this is where the power's hitting the road, so there is a millimetre of wear on that, and that again is to be expected, but I'm happy with that. We'll see over a period of several months how things shape up. So just on this very first update, I'm going to outline what I think of the bike, or the tyres I should say, over that 1,000 miles, and then future 1,000-mile tyre checks. It'll just be the basic information we've just looked at. So firstly, most of the riding's been in the dry because we haven't had significant rain for some time now, but I have had the bike out in the rain. First day was lashing it down, and I've had 1 or 2 days where it has rained. Now these sort of tyres on tarmac in the rain, you're always going to have to be cautious, because just by the nature of the sort of tyres they are, you've got to be cautious. I've not experienced any problems with them in the rain, but I ride accordingly because of previous experience of riding blocky tyres on bikes. So most of my update on this will be from dry riding, and firstly on the sort of typical back roads, country roads and main roads, these stick to that road like glue. They are very, very good. You can see with the amount of wear pattern on the tyres that I am getting it leaned over quite a lot. I don't ride fast, but I ride appropriately for the conditions, but honestly they stick like glue to the road. Now obviously in wet conditions you're going to have to temper that a little bit, but in dry conditions it's going to be superb. Even on the main roads you don't really get that rumble from a blocky tyre that you would expect. So on the back roads and country roads and fell roads, typical of the sort of place we all like to ride, you don't get any feel that you've got a blocky tyre on there. So these tyres, I'm comparing them to the Dunlops that we're on, and they were a much more road orientated tyre. They were a 90-10 tyre. Still did okay. I managed to do various trails on them, but didn't grip me with confidence, to use the pun. That didn't grip me with confidence on the trails. On the road they were very good. I rate them quite highly for road riding. These Mitas E07 Pluses are a 60/40 road trail tyre. They are described as sort of 50/50 tyres, but actually Mitas actually classify them as 60/40. So let's go with the 60/40. They're certainly a blocky tyre, and on the back roads everything I've described, superb. On main roads, dual carriageways and motorways, I've had no significant feel of the blocky nature of the tyre. Other than the motorway, when you're getting up into the sort of 6,000 revs, and that's on the Honda CB500X, and at 6,000 revs it gets a little bit vibey anyway, with the nature of the engine, and in fact it's a 500cc bike. So going over that 6,000, particularly on the motorway, it's about the only time I'd ever go into that 6,000 range of revs. You start, and that's round about 78 to 80 mile an hour, something like that. I sit at about 75, just under the 6,000, and the tyres feel fine to me. But you can't compare them to a pure road tyre. Obviously there's a difference. So on the motorway, getting over 80 mile an hour, typically if you're overtaking, you can feel the vibrations a little bit, because the bike does that at over 6,000, and you can feel the rumble of the tyres, because obviously at that sort of speed there is going to be some rumble and feel. Don't get me wrong, it's not a problem. I've had tyres before similar to this on other bikes, and you just get used to that. On the trails, I've managed one trail anyway with these tyres, and I have to say that was awesome. It gave me the confidence that I had those tyres to be able to stand more, whereas previously on the Dunlops I guess I lacked a little bit of confidence standing up and having the grip that they had, but these a world of difference. Now, I've only done that one trail, and it was a rocky, gravelly trail with a little bit of a steep bit to get up, and the bike did really well. I've got some video of that, so I'll probably put that on as a different video to look at. But let's be perfectly honest, these tyres exceeding my expectations from when I first got them fitted. So that's it, guys. Don't want to say any more. Really happy. If you want to ask any questions, do so, and I'll do a very brief update every 1,000 miles on the wear and if there's anything significantly changed. So thanks for watching, guys, and take care out there.